Hello class, welcome to session 6 of Unit 2, Increasing Motivation and Performance Ethically. At the end of this session, you should be able to explain motivation, understand fostering a motivation work environment, identify elements of an effective motivation program, explain the various reinforced performance enhancing behavior, identify the strategies for shaping behavior. Motivation and ethics. Motivation is the process by which a person's efforts are energized, directed, and sustained toward attaining a goal. Motivation is either internal or external stimulates to individuals to be continually interested and committed to a job. Individuals differ in motivational drive. Overall motivation varies from situation to situation. What we are saying here is what boosts an employee to go out of his way to work effectively for an organization. So here we are talking about what energizes you, what directs you, what sustains you, what makes you happy, what makes you committed to the organizational objectives. So it's either an internal stimuli or an external stimuli, something that pushes you. Is it your inward motivation or something that is being given to you in the organization that is causing you to act in a way to achieve organizational goals? Individuals define motivational drive. What we mean is what could motivate Akosia may not motivate Ama. Overall motivation varies from situation to situation as well. Based on a particular situation, what could motivate you will be different from what motivates you in another situation. Fostering a motivating work environment. Effective managers devote considerable time to gauging and strengthening their subordinates' motivation as reflected in their efforts and concern. So what fosters a motivating work environment? So when you devote considerable time to gauge and strengthen, so to gauge, that means to hold in place and strengthen their subordinates' motivation as reflected in their efforts and concern. That means you are fostering a motivating work environment. Why is motivation important? Motivation is important for the following reasons. For someone to join your organization, for recruitment, that means people are more interested to apply and willing to join your organization to work because of what they've heard that you do for people in your organization. Stay within your organization, people are unwilling to leave. So you have low turnover, employee turnover. Show up for work at your organization. People will be punctual at work. Perform better for your organization. Your performance is going to increase. Do extra work or work extra hard for the organization based on how committed they are from their motivation. Elements of effective motivation program. Energy, a measure of intensity of or drive. What drives you? What is influencing your performance? What is directing your performance? What is boosting you to work in a particular way? That is energy. Direction. In what direction is your energy moving you? So where is your effort channeled? In what direction does it bring benefits to the organization? Persistence. Motivation includes a persistent dimension. As well or as far as you are being motivated, you'll be persistent in being committed to working diligently in the organization. That's what these are the elements of effective motivation program. Motivation is a product of desire and commitment. So motivation is equal to desire times commitment motivation, which results from the interaction of both conscious and unconscious factors, such as the need, the intensity of desire or need. So what is driving you? What is the intensity of the drive? What is the need? What do you want to gain in the long run? Incentive or reward value of the incentive or reward value of the goal. So in the long run, what are you trying to achieve? What are you going to get when you achieve that particular thing? So what is the reward? What is the incentive for which you are being motivated? Expectations of the individual and of his peers or her peers. So what are the expectations? When I finish this is what I will get. So that's the incentive. What is the incentive? Is there any incentive? Now, are employees expecting to get any incentive? You should know that motivation could be from motivation to performance or based on performance to your outcomes or your outcomes to satisfaction. So someone may be motivated to perform. One's performance is directed towards a particular outcome, what he wants to achieve. So based on the outcome, he's going to be motivated to perform. Satisfaction from that outcome could also be a source of motivation for someone to be what? Working diligently at the workplace. Diagnosing work performance problems. Performance is equal to ability times motivation or effort. Ability is equal to aptitude. Aptitude is intelligence, your skills, what do you know, times training, times resources. Ability is equal to aptitude times training times resources. Ability is enhanced when humans take, or persons, individuals, take refuge in a specialty. So you know, I'm good at sewing, I'm good at cutting, I'm good at mowing, I'm good at typing. So that's where you take refuge in. So you're going to be typing and you're going to be motivated to type because that's what your specialty is. Focusing on past performance. Your ability may also focus on past performance. How did I do in the past? Okay, I want to do better now. So you'll be motivated to do better. Then we have exaggerating aspects of the leadership role. What leadership role do you want to attain? What is there? What is the outcome? What is the satisfaction you get for attaining that leadership role? These are how we diagnose performance problems at the workplace. Now let's have a look at principal tools for overcoming poor performance due to lack of ability. Resupply. It is important for support to be given for the needs of a job. So if your employees are feeling down, they are not working effectively, you need to supply their support. You need to give them support so that they can work effectively towards the organizational job needs. You need to remain competitive. That is why you need to retrain your employees, develop them as and when necessary. So you retrain your employees to remain competitive in the working environment. Refit. Repair poor performance. When your employees are not working effectively, it is important for you to repair their poor performance. Maybe you have to reassign them to a particular job or not. Then we have reassignment. So the reassign here means that where you think employees are not performing well in a job, as I already said, then you have to reassign them to duties that you think they will perform better, or to job positions that you think they will perform better. Release. This is where you retrain and creative redefinition of task assignment. So you release your employees. So you release creative redefinition of task assignment. You allow them to be creative about the organizational needs or objectives in their day-to-day activities. Now let's look at motivation theories. 1. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. The Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory is in 5 hierarchical stages where employees are motivated at each step of the hierarchy. First is the physiological needs, your need to exist. So what are the basic needs that you need? You need food, you need shelter, you need water. These are the basic needs. So what are your existence needs? Why do you exist as an employee, as a person? You have the safety needs, your needs for security and safety, money, health insurance, normal security needs. This is what we call by safety needs. Then you have the social needs, your need to relate, your need for friendship, your need for affection. That's what we call the social needs. So you need to relate, have a friendship, have emotional relationship with others, love, affection. We have the esteem needs. The esteem needs is your need for growth. You may be in a career, but you would want to move from one career to the other, or from one job position to another job position, be it a promotion, a transfer, or reassignment. Then we have self-actualization needs. This is where you know you've self-actualized. You become so confident. You've gotten to a point where you feel the need for power, like you've achieved everything that you want. So now your next motivation is the need for power. This is the Maslow's hierarchy theory needs. We have the McGregor theory X and theory Y. Theory X of McGregor says represents a pessimistic or a negative view of workers. This management style is characterized by close supervision. So theory X, people are pessimistic. They have negative view about themselves, about how they are doing their activities in the organization. So they need close supervision to be able to even achieve probably the commonest or the fundamental job duty in the organization. Theory Y, these people are optimistic. They have a positive view of workers, even of themselves. The management's role here is not to supervise, but to assist such workers to reach their potential by productively channeling their motivation to succeed. So they are motivated and they have a positive view of workers and are very optimistic in the organization. We have the Frederick Herzberg two-factor theory or motivation hygiene theory. So this theory is a two-factor, either intrinsic factors or external factors. Remember we said motivation could be an internal, which is intrinsic, or external, which is extrinsic. So here, intrinsic factors are related to job satisfaction. Your need to be satisfied at the workplace. Your need to do something and go like, yes, I did this. I'm really satisfied with my job. It's what intrinsically moves you to be motivated. So it's in within you what you want to achieve. Then we have extrinsic factors. They are associated with job dissatisfaction. So there, you know you didn't do something well. So your performance, people are querying you. So based on what other people or other external factors are doing, you are moved. You are dissatisfied with your work. So you are moved. You're energized and directed in a way to achieve a particular goal. Motivation that eliminates dissatisfaction but does not motivate. So here the extrinsic factor is it eliminates job dissatisfaction but doesn't actually what motivate you as the intrinsic would. Then we have the hygiene. So the hygiene part of the extrinsic is where factors that increase job satisfaction and motivation. So the motivation factor is to remove any job dissatisfaction, and the hygiene factor will now inculcate job satisfaction and motivation. So these, however, arise from intrinsic conditions of work. So as you remember, the theory is Herzberg's two-factor theory. So it could be an intrinsic factor or an extrinsic factor, or a motivation hygiene theory. So it could be a motivation theory or a hygiene theory. The motivation theory is an extrinsic factor. So that one, it removes any job dissatisfaction. But the hygiene factor is an intrinsic factor which promotes job satisfaction and motivation. Equity theory. The equity theory proposes that employees compare what they get from a job in relation to what they put in. So you compare your outputs to your inputs, or your outcomes to your inputs. Looking at the number of hours you've put into a job, you may want to finish or get a particular degree of attain a particular degree of performance. So then you are going to compare your inputs to your outputs and see if you did as you suggested you figured you would do. So under the equity theory, we have the distributive justice. So here you perceived fairness of the amount and allocation of rewards among individuals. So distributive. So based on your inputs and your outputs, how do you think you are being treated amongst your other colleagues? Do you think you perceive fairness in how much allocation is done and how much the reward is? So per your outcome and your input, do you think you are being rewarded fairly as compared to other people? The procedural justice is where perceived fairness of the process is used to determine the distribution of rewards. So here, we are going to reward you based on the processes used or the processes or the grades in the organization and not the outcome. Not the outcome and how they are allocated. But here we are going to look at the process used to what distributes reward in the organization. The distributive is how much is distributed. The procedural is the process of which distribution is done. We have the expectancy theory. The expectancy theory suggests that people are motivated by two things. The expectancy that hard work leads to good results. So you know that if you work hard, you will get good results. The expectation that good results lead to attractive rewards or incentives. So because of something that you're expecting, you know if you work hard, you will get something good, or the expectation that good results would lead to rewards or incentives. So you're expecting something, so you're motivated to do something. It includes three variables or relationships. One, expectancy or effort performance linkage. So you expect something. So it's your expectancy and your effort is based on a performance, a particular performance. You know that your effort is going to lead to a particular performance that is going to give you good results. The instrumentality or performance reward. You know your performance will lead to a particular reward. So that reward is what is instrumentalizing you, energizing you, directing you to perform in a certain way. The valence or attractiveness of the reward. How attractive is the reward? Is the reward even worth it? So if you work 4 hours, you get a car. Is the kind of car you can't afford on your own? Is it the kind of car that you'll be motivated for? If you compare it to the current car you have now, you think it's something you should work for. So how attractive is the reward? David McClelland's three needs theory. The McClelland's theory is in three levels. So we have the need for achievement, the need for power, need for affiliation. The drive to succeed and excel in relation to a set of standards is your need for achievement. You want to achieve something, you want to succeed, you need to excel in a particular line. That is what we call the need of achievement. The need for power. Here you need to make others behave in a way that they would not have behaved otherwise. So you are motivated by your need for power so that you can influence people to act in a way to attain a particular objective. Need for affiliation, the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationships. So you are motivated by the need for affiliation, the need to have interpersonal relationship with other people. Reinforcement theory. This theory is more about the behavior with positive consequences tends to be repeated, whereas behavior with negative consequences tend not to be repeated. So if you are reinforced in the organization, you reinforce good behavior, this behavior is going to be repeated. And if you punish bad behavior or behavior that is unethical, it will not be repeated by the individual or the employee. So how to reinforce performance enhancing behavior include using rewards as reinforcers. So you reward good behavior and you punish bad behavior. The role of managers' actions as reinforcers. So managers would act as reinforcers. They would identify which behavior needs to be rewarded or not. Use rewards and discipline appropriately. Where you need to discipline an individual for bad behavior, you do that. Where you need to reward good behavior, you do that. So the reinforcement is when a behavior with positive consequences tends to be repeated, whereas bad behavior is not repeated. Strategies for shaping behavior. You can reprimand the person by punishing the person. You can try and redirect the person's efforts or attitude toward a better or a more positive and ethical behavior. Reinforce, as we just saw. So you reinforce the person by rewarding a good behavior or disciplining a bad behavior. So positive reinforcements to motivate employees include reward only desirable behavior, give rewards as soon as possible. Let the person know this is what you did. That's why I'm giving you the reward. So it should be timely. Be clear about what behavior is desired. Have different rewards and recognize the need in the differences of the rewards or the behavior. So different rewards for different behavior so that at least the person will be instrumentalized that if I do this, I'll get a better reward than I did the last time. Guidelines for improving behaviors. Motivating workers by redesigning work. So you redesign the job responsibilities of the workers. So here, work design is a process of matching job characteristics and worker skills and interests. So if you redesign the work for an employee, you would improve the behavior because now his characteristics would fit right in the job skills and his interests, and it's going to also improve performance as the behavior improves. We have the goal setting theory. Here, specific goals increase performance. Based on specific goals in the organization, your performance would increase. We have Difficult goals, when accepted, result in higher performance. So goal setting, a particular goal will set the need for a particular behavior which may increase performance. And you know that difficult goals means more effort, more determination, more commitment, which if accepted would result in higher performance. We have, however, there is no evidence that such goals are associated with increased job satisfaction. So the fact that you set a goal and are motivated to achieve the goal doesn't mean that you are going to attain job satisfaction at the workplace. Bandura's self-efficacy theory. Here, individuals believe that he or she is capable of performing a task. So, Bandura's self-efficacy. So, self-efficacy. You believe you are capable of doing something. Self-efficacy theory. You believe you are capable of doing something. So, here, higher efficacy is related to greater confidence. You have great confidence that you can do something. Greater persistence in the face of difficulties. So, you are being faced with difficulties, but you have a great persistence. Better response to negative feedback. You respond with act prompt and react promptly to negative feedback. You don't wait for the feedback and your response to take a long time. Then we have increasing self-efficacy. Increasing self-efficacy includes or is motivated by inactive mastery. As you master your skills, you have the confidence that you can do something. Vicarious modeling. So through modeling, you mold yourself, training, development. You know that, okay, I've trained on this, I can do this. Verbal persuasion. You persuade someone that, oh, because you have leadership skills, you can stand for presidency in the organization. So someone will persuade you, talk to you, counsel you, and you feel like, oh yes, I can do it. Then we have arousal, your need for achievement. So you'll be aroused personally that, oh yes, I can do this. If this person is doing this, I can also do this in the organization. Job design and redesign perspectives as motivation factors. How job design influence motivation. Job design, the way tasks are combined to form complete jobs. Job simplification. So in job simplification, what is done in the organization is a whole job or a large job is divided into smaller units and shared amongst employees in the organization. Job enlargement, here we mean the scope of your work is increased. So the increase the scope of your work. So if you are an administrator and you were only typing, now you have to type, print, and file some files in the organization. So they enlarge the scope, they increase your scope. Simplification, they divide the job into smaller units so that employees who have skills in a particular section can do that effectively. Job enrichment. Here, we add planning and evaluation to your job scope. So whatever you are doing, a component of planning and evaluation is added to your job duties or your duties in organization. Job rotation. This is where you rotate from one job to other to gain skills on the other job in the organization. Job characteristics model. This is a guidance to managers for job design for both individuals and teams. Here, you consider your skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback in order to draw up this model. So, for individuals and the teams, these characteristics are important to devise the model. Now let's look at other non-monetary ways of motivating employees. Flexible workspace. If workplace is flexible, employees can move about freely. The workstations are big enough. Employees do not need to suffer for space. It's flexible. Needs for safety are put in place. Will be duly motivated. Thoughtfulness. The supervisor, the leader, the manager, your emotional needs that you extend towards employees, how thoughtful you are, how you ask them, how are you doing, when you see them, how friendly you are towards them, also motivates them intrinsically. Work-life benefits. Some work benefits in organizations and benefits packages could also serve as non-monetary motivation to the employees. Surroundings. How is your surroundings? What facilities are there? If the organization has libraries, recreational facilities, even Trees or lavish bench to sit on could serve as a form of motivation. Your workplace is nice. Now you can even sit somewhere and take pictures, do Snapchats and all those things. So a surrounding, a good and beautiful surrounding also serves as motivation. Employee involvement may differ in different cultures in how they participate and how they are being represented. So employee development involvement in organization differs based on the different cultural backgrounds that they have. Participative management is very important in involving employees because if management decides that let me involve my employees, the lower management should also be involved in decision making. It's going to increase employee involvement. Representative participation, so there is a small group, they have a representative who represents maybe employees in this section, that section. That's going to make sure that employees are duly involved in the organization. Skill building and educational opportunities is also very important. When you train, you develop your employees, you give them skills, you give them new innovative ways of doing things, you develop their management. They are going to also feel motivated because they are learning new things as compared to other people. Sabbaticals, give them sabbatical periods or leave to go and do other things that probably they think is beneficial to their career path. Some may also use it to um, groom their family ties. Some may use it for relaxation, work on their leisure projects, and so many things. So sabbaticals could also serve as a form of motivation. Commuting, telecommuting, working from home. It is important. You see, during the COVID, Ghana as we are, people productivity was low for some sectors because we couldn't work from home. There was barely any internet access. People do not even have the technology. However, now, because of COVID, organizations have adopted telecommuting. So it's important that sometimes if your employees can work from home, you should allow them to work from home. Sometimes increases motivation and what boosts employee performance because they think if they can work from home, they can feel relaxed, rest, and work productively to the organization's need. Popular incentive compensation plans in organization. Piece rate. Here you are being paid according to the level of productivity. So the number of units that you are able to produce. Sales commission. The sales commission, that's when you have a specific target that you have to hit. So if you're able to sell 100 units, they are going to give you 10% of the money that you bring to the organization. Bonuses or lump sum bonuses. So based on a particular an employee's ability to achieve a particular task, the person may be paid bonuses, be it at whatever interval that organization desires. Variable pay. So here, variable pay remain, it could increase at a particular point in time. So intermittently, an organization could fairly increase the pay, the wages or salaries of some employees based on whatever they've contributed to the organization. So it's a form of what? Reward also. We have flexible benefits. Flexible benefits here remain giving extra benefits for exceptional performance. So if you think your employees have worked effectively in a period of time, it is important for you to acknowledge that and give them some flexible benefits. Maybe you reduce their work, you allow them to telecommute, you can give them sabbatical breaks, whatever you think could what motivate them. Then we have gain sharing. Sometimes if a department is able to produce with reduced cost, that means the economic value is going to increase. So when their profits come, you can let them get something small. So you share the something small to the boys, something small. Then we have stock options. Here, you allow your employees to also gain shares in the company by buying your stocks at reduced price as compared to other investors in the country or around the society that you're in. Pay for knowledge. Pay for knowledge here remains. Your pay is decided according to your level of expertise, what you know, your certification, or what you have to offer. So you are being paid for what you know. Motivating a diverse workforce. Compressed work week. Work week in which employees work longer hours per day, but fewer days per week. So they can say as if you work 8 hours in a day, why don't you work 12 hours for 3 days so that for Thursday and Friday you can stay at home without having to work. We have flexible work hours. So here you have flex time. So free within limits or to vary the work of hours. So they can give you a day free. They can ask you to work between 9 to 12, or they can ask you to vary. So as and when you want to do and contribute to productivity, it's all up to you. Job sharing. So you're going to share your work with some people so that they can also help contribute to productivity. Telecommuting. That's when you're asked or allowed to work from work as a source of motivation. Designing appropriate reward system or programs. Open book management. What we mean by open book management is when an organization is transparent in its dealings. So employees or whoever, which other sector in the organization is entitled or can ask for the books of the organization. When we say books in an organization, that counts books. So the organization, anybody in the organization can ask to see what is going on with the finances of the organization. So that's open book management. Everybody can go for the book and look at how transparent the organization is being. Employee recognition programs. Here, you recognize employees by allowing them to also be involved in decision making or relevant things in the organization. Pay for performance programs. Here, what we mean is variable compensation plans that pay employees. So pay for performance, they're going to pay you based on how you perform on the organization. So your pay is going to be variable per your outputs. That's what we mean by pay for performance programs. So these are some of the programs that we can use to reward people in the organization. We've come to the end of Unit 2, Session 6. We have learned about motivation and ethics and why motivation is important in an organization. We learned about the elements of effective motivation program and the need to diagnose work performance problems. We also identified the theories of motivation. We also learned the ways of motivating employees and popular incentive compensation plans. We also identified designs of appropriate revision programs. Thank you. See you in the next unit where we are going to treat the triple bottom line. Thank you. Bye.